What about employee safety and their arguments that, all we're trying to do is create a safe workplace and we, are well within our rights to do that?
And I think that's where this argument gets real close to gun control, because there are people who believe guns in anyone's hands are dangerous, and then those of us who believe that guns in good people's hands are a good thing, enhance public safety. So I really believe that's where this argument gets really close to a gun control argument, is they're arguing that good people with concealed carry permits, 340,000 of them who have a great track record, are somehow going to be dangerous if they're allowed to keep guns in their locked vehicles out of sight. That's not going to happen. We know that 16 states have these laws. There haven't been any problems. Kentucky has one of the strongest laws in the country. Since 2005, there have been no problems. I don't think that the citizens of Tennessee are going to be the exception to that rule, and I would certainly hope that the representatives and senators here in Tennessee don't think their constituents are going to be the exception to that rule of responsibility and safety.
What is the kind of the rough outlines of the provisions of the Kentucky law?
The Kentucky law is very simple. It's one page, and it just says that if you have a gun in your car and it's illegally being transported, nothing can be said about it. So that's what the law says in Kentucky. It doesn't limit it to permit holders. And in Kentucky, if you're not a permit holder, you can have a loaded rifle, loaded handgun in your vehicle. It's very broad. And so this is a much more restricted version. Now, the reason that we would never, and in Kentucky there was no opposition, no business community opposition. It passed with 3 no votes in the House, or 4 no votes in the House, and 3 no votes in the Senate. So it passed overwhelmingly in the Kentucky Legislature because there was no opposition. UPS has their main hub operations in Kentucky, just like FedEx is based here with their main hub operations, and UPS never opposed the bill. There was no opposition to the bill. So Kentucky's law is much stronger. It's been on the books for 7 years now, no problems. Property rights owners still believe they have their private property rights. Everybody seems to be doing just fine. I will not understand why the business community is so up in arms in this state. The thing is, Tennessee always believes that it's cutting some new radical ground. Restaurant carry is a great example. Restaurant carry. I think you're the 34th or 35th state in the country to allow carry in places that serve alcohol, and it was as if no state in the country had ever done it before. That's always the case in Tennessee. It's always the perception in Tennessee. This is not new ground, and Tennessee is not going to be the wild, wild west if this bill passes. I do believe that the citizens of the state expect their representative democracy to work like it's supposed to work, which is a fair vote on the Senate floor, a fair vote on the House floor. And if we do get votes on the House and Senate floors, I believe strongly that this legislation would pass with fairly healthy margins.